I recently started playing this mobile game called Among Us that's been circulating around social media these days. For a tour on what it is all about, the game allows up to 10 players to join in a room. 9 play as crewmates, and there is at least one random imposter, chosen by the game itself at random for every round. The objective is for the crewmates to accomplish tasks and escape the spaceship while the imposter gets to kill and sabotage tasks until he is caught and ejected. Now the game itself already has a clear, creepy sort of atmosphere, especially with the background music on the main menu. But it gets creepier with my experience of when playing it. Know that you join rooms with random people of various nationalities and walks of life, so every time you play, it's a new experience. I was having a great time with a bunch of people. We've been through 5 rounds together, and trust me, it does get addicting when you play with the right people. One of the guys decided that it was enough playtime for today, and he had to go. So naturally, another random player joins the room to fill him in, and his in-game name was simply X. He was pretty psyched, immediately wanting to start while I and the other guys were still chatting. You cannot chat when the game starts, you can only chat when it's time to vote out a possible imposter. This was normal. I was like this when I first got involved with the game. The chances of being an imposter with 10 players are slim, so obviously I still didn't get the chance to be one on this second round. We played as usual, finishing up tasks and trying to do so in pairs as some sort of strategy we came up with. An emergency meeting, which you can do so in the game in case you suspect someone to be the imposter, was called. As mean as the following narrative sounds, the guys started ganging up on X, merely in jest, suggesting that he might be the imposter. X would deny this, of course, but with this game, one has to be tricky, so we can never know if he is telling the truth unless he gets ejected from this room. And we find out whether we eliminated the right or wrong player. Majority were already set on eliminating X, most likely without proof, and before X got ejected from the round, he sent on the chat, "If I do become imposter, I swear I'll kill you all and win this thing. Starting with you, player who accused me without proof." It turns out that he wasn't our guy, so we continued the round as usual until it was over. Back in the lobby, X had started reprimanding and trash-talking us of our actions, in which we replied to him in jests. This was a game after all. Hey, no need to get so worked up over a video game. 7th round now, look at that. Still not the imposter on my part. Oh well, I guess we just have to keep on playing until everyone gets the chance to be one, right? This round was rather intense as dead bodies. Yes, the term in the game for when an imposter kills a crewmate is to report a dead body found by fellow crewmates. We're now involved instead of just someone stupidly calling for an emergency meeting, just to vote someone out randomly without a proof. What makes it more exciting is that this killer was elusive. I was wondering why everyone was being nice to X and not suspecting him this round. Was it because he might explode in some kind of toxic tantrum again? For some reason, everyone's just ignoring X now because of the behavior shown last round. I felt bad ganging up on him then. What if the guy is a new player? Well, even if he isn't, he was played foul. Just 'cause he's a new guy among the rest of us who had been playing for 5 rounds straight. In the end, it turns out that X was the imposter. I disconnected from the game because I felt pretty tired now. And besides, I have other things to do. It was fun. That ex-player, if he just started out with the game, did mighty well with invading the suspicion until he had killed off the others. Except for me, which merited the imposter a victory if only one more crewmate is standing. The next morning, I was browsing on my Facebook account when I saw a trend on 8 people found dead in one night. 'Cause unknown. At first I ignored it, just another mass murder kind of news, but then it merited a lot of shares and sympathies because it was pronounced that the death of these 8 individuals last night happened in different areas, but the time of death was what connected them. It was about the same time I quit and disconnected from the Among Us game. Coincidences happen, right? What has the death of 8 people have to do with some dark online game that's just recently gone famous? I read one article in full and learned eerily that these individuals have another thing in common. That they all had X marks etched on their foreheads. At the time I finished reading the article, my phone tinged with a message notification. I opened it and read, "I told you I will kill you all and win this thing."